Analyzing real-time threat. Anomaly detected. Initiating countermeasures.
Welcome everyone, and thank you for being here. My name is Maya, working closely with this AI solution architect, and I am here to take you on a deep dive into something that is genuinely changing how enterprises operate in real time. In this video, we will cover 6 powerful ideas. We will start by exposing why traditional business dashboards, no matter how beautiful they look, are actually just expensive rearview mirrors. Then we will walk you through a real, working prototype of an Agentic GenBI Enterprise Platform, built with Python, LangGraph, dbt, and Azure OpenAI, that flips that model completely on its head. You will see how a team of autonomous AI agents can detect a profit margin collapse, trace it to a specific freight vendor, generate an executive memo, and even spot physical warehouse damage on a loading dock, all without a single human initiating the process. This is not a concept deck. This is not a white paper. This is a real prototype, with real source code, real architecture blueprints, and real cost savings, that has been designed to serve both C-suite leaders who need faster strategic decisions and technical architects who need to know exactly how to build it. Whether you are a CFO worried about margin erosion, a CTO evaluating AI infrastructure, or a data engineer who wants to understand how to build this, there is something in this presentation for you. Get comfortable, because by the end of this video, you will never look at a business dashboard the same way again. Let's get into it. We are going to cover 6 ideas today, and I want to warn you up front. Each one is going to make the previous one look small. We start with the problem nobody talks about. The dirty secret of every BI tool on the market. Tableau, Power BI, all of them. They are lying to you. Not with wrong numbers, with old ones. And that gap between what your data knows and when you find out is costing enterprises millions. Then we flip it. I am going to show you what happens when AI stops waiting to be asked and starts watching on its own. 24/7. No coffee breaks, no Monday morning catch-ups. But here is where it gets interesting. Running AI at enterprise scale costs a fortune, unless you know the one architectural trick that cuts that bill by 80%. We are going to break that down in detail. Then we go inside the brain. A team of specialized AI agents, each with one job and one job only, working in sequence like a precision kitchen. No hallucinations, no cognitive overload. Just results. And just when you think we have covered everything, we give the system eyes, literal eyes, a camera on your loading dock. And the AI sees a damaged pallet, updates your database, and alerts your team before a single barcode has been scanned. Finally, we scale it. We take everything we just built and drop it inside a Fortune 500 Azure environment, with 0 data leakage, enterprise login, and your proprietary data going absolutely nowhere. 6 topics. 1 working prototype. 2 audiences. Whether you are in the boardroom protecting margins or in the server room designing the architecture, this was built for you. Let's get into it. Let me paint you a picture. It's Monday morning. You are a senior executive at a large retail company. You walk into your office, open your laptop, and your dashboard is green. Revenue looks fine. Margins look healthy. Arrows pointing up. Everything appears to be working. And it is lying to you, not with wrong numbers, with old ones. Here is what that dashboard is not telling you. 3 days ago, on Friday afternoon, the profit margin on your highest selling product category quietly dropped off a cliff. The data warehouse knew. The numbers were there. But nobody asked, nobody looked, and so nobody knew. That is the core disease of traditional business intelligence. It is strictly reactive. It only answers when spoken to. And in enterprise, nobody speaks to it fast enough. Think about the actual workflow. Your analyst arrives Monday morning, makes a coffee, opens Tableau, finds the right tab, because there are always 17 tabs, runs the report, spots the anomaly, escalates it, gets a meeting scheduled for Wednesday. By Wednesday, your company has been bleeding money for 5 days. 5 days. And the terrifying part? That is considered normal. That is considered acceptable. That is the industry standard. Now I want you to really sit with this analogy, because it is the most honest way I know to describe what every BI tool on the market is actually doing to your business. Imagine you are piloting a commercial aircraft. In front of you, a massive instrument panel. Altitude, speed, heading, fuel. Every metric you could ever need. It looks incredibly sophisticated. It feels like total control. But then someone tells you, those readings are from yesterday. That plane, that is your enterprise. That instrument panel, that is your dashboard. And that highway you are driving at full speed, with your only navigational tool being a look backwards at where you used to be. That is not intelligence. That is an illusion of intelligence. And the gap between what your data already knows and when a human finally discovers it, that gap is where your margin goes to die. Now here is where everything changes. On the right side of this slide, you can see what happens when you flip this model entirely. No analyst, no Monday morning, no 5-day delay. An autonomous AI agent, running continuously in the background, detects that margin drop the second it crosses a threshold. Seconds, not days. And that is exactly what we built. Now you understand the problem. Traditional BI is reactive, a rearview mirror. We need something autonomous, always watching, acting in seconds. But any smart executive asks, what does that cost? Here is the brutal truth. If you build enterprise AI the wrong way, cloud compute bills will kill the project. I have seen great prototypes die because nobody did the cost math. Every time an AI model reads a word, you pay. Imagine feeding it your entire corporate database, millions of rows of transactions, margins, inventory. You are not paying fractions of a cent anymore. You are burning thousands of dollars every single run. Multiplying that daily is a financial disaster. So here is the architectural decision that changes everything. We never feed the raw database to the AI. Ever. Instead, we place a layer in between, the semantic layer, powered by dbt, data build tool. It does all the heavy lifting using cheap, traditional SQL compute. It pre-calculates every metric before the AI ever wakes up. Think of dbt as an intelligent bouncer. If a product margin is healthy, the AI stays asleep. It costs nothing. But the moment a threshold is broken, the AI wakes up. You are not paying the AI to read the database. You are paying it to think about the problem. That is how you achieve an 80% reduction in LLM costs. This difference determines if a project launches or dies in budget review. In practice, your Azure Synapse warehouse handles millions of rows using cheap SQL. dbt governs the calculation. An anomaly filter acts as the gate. And the LLM only sees the exceptions. The AI is not your accountant. It is your detective. A good detective only looks at the suspicious documents. That is the architecture that makes this viable at Fortune 500 scale. So we have solved the cost problem. The semantic layer means the AI only wakes up when something is wrong. But waking up is just the beginning. Here is where most teams make their second fatal mistake. They take all that anomaly data, the margin drop, the freight costs, the vendor delays, and they dump it into one giant AI prompt. One model, one shot. Figure it out. And it fails. Every time. Not because the AI is not smart enough, because it is being asked to do too much at once. Large language models have a hard limit, cognitive overload. Ask them to think about finance, logistics, and executive communication simultaneously, and they start filling gaps with guesses. That is hallucination. And in enterprise finance, a hallucinated number is not an inconvenience. It is a liability. So we took a completely different approach. Instead of one overwhelmed generalist, we built a kitchen. Agent A is the finance auditor. Its only job, scan global margins. The moment bicycles drop below 15%, it raises a flag and passes the context forward. That is it. It does not investigate. It does not recommend. It flags. Agent B is the logistics specialist. It receives that flag, autonomously writes a SQL query, and hunts for the root cause. 23-day lead time. $850 freight cost. Found, without a human, writing a single line of code. Agent C is the executive synthesizer. It takes everything. The financial anomaly, the logistics root cause, and writes a 3-bullet point action memo, ready for the C-suite. In seconds. Each agent has one job. Each agent shows its work before passing the baton. No cognitive overload. No hallucination. No gaps. One click of a button. And the entire chain fires. Hours of cross-departmental analysis, delivered while you finish your coffee. That is the multi-agent brain. And that single click just replaced your Monday morning. Everything we have built so far lives in the digital world. Data warehouses, SQL queries, AI agents reading numbers and writing memos. But your business does not live in a spreadsheet. It lives in a warehouse, on a loading dock, in a forklift operator's hands at 6 a.m. And that physical world, the one your database has never actually seen, is where billions of dollars disappear every year. Here is a scenario that happens every single day in enterprise supply chain. Your system says 100 electric bikes are in stock. They are on the manifest. The numbers check out. But what nobody knows, because nobody was watching, is that a forklift clipped a pallet 40 minutes ago. Half those bikes are damaged. Unsellable. Your database still says 100. Still healthy, still green. That disconnect between what the digital record believes and what physically exists, that is the gap the visual watchdog was built to close. Here is how it works. A camera watches the loading dock continuously. The moment a new pallet arrives, a photo is taken and dropped into the system. GPT-4o Vision picks it up instantly. It does not just look at the image. It reads it. It counts the inventory. It detects physical damage on the cardboard. It identifies discrepancies. And before a single human worker has reached for a barcode scanner, the Azure SQL database has already been updated. The Streamlit dashboard has already flagged the anomaly. A freight insurance claim can already be filed. Instantaneous reconciliation between the physical world and the digital record. Traditionally, this discovery happens at the end of quarter audit. By then, the inventory is already promised to a customer. You take the write-off. You lose the sale. You apologize. With the visual watchdog, you know the moment it happens. You reorder before you miss a single sale. You file the claim the same day. The system does not just watch the numbers. It watches the world. We have shown you something remarkable. A working prototype that detects margin collapse, traces it to a freight vendor, watches your loading dock with computer vision, and delivers a C-suite memo, all without a human initiating a single step. Now I want to address the question every technology leader in this room is sitting with. Is this secure enough for my enterprise? The honest answer is, the prototype is not. A local Python script running Streamlit is not Fortune 500 infrastructure. It was never meant to be. It was built to prove the concept. And it did. But the architecture maps directly, one-to-one, into a fully secured Microsoft Azure ecosystem. And that upgrade changes everything. The local folder watching for camera images? That becomes Azure Blob Storage. Durable, scalable, handling petabytes of warehouse footage without blinking. The Python watchdog script looping continuously? That becomes Azure Event Grid and Azure Functions. Serverless, event-driven, and infinitely scalable. Instead of a script asking every second, is there a new image? The storage container pings the function the millisecond one arrives. The Google login? Replaced by Microsoft Entra ID, wired directly into your existing employee credentials and role-based access controls. If you are not on the list, you never see the dashboard. And the crown jewel. Instead of sending your proprietary data to the public OpenAI API, the architecture runs on Azure OpenAI Service. Zero data egress. Your warehouse photos, your margin calculations, your vendor costs. They never leave your secured Azure tenant. Not to train public models, not to any external server. Nowhere. The AI thinks inside your vault, and it leaves empty-handed. 4 security layers. Governed math via dbt so the AI never calculates, only reads. Entra ID so only authorized users trigger the system. Encrypted secrets so credentials never touch the codebase. And a Synapse firewall that whitelists only the application server. Every layer must be passed before a single token is spent. This is not an afterthought. This is the architecture. Enterprise scale. Fortune 500 ready. Zero compromise. We started this presentation with a rearview mirror, a dashboard full of green arrows, a pilot's instrument panel that was actually looking backwards, a Monday morning ritual that cost enterprises 5 days and millions of dollars every single week. And then we dismantled it, piece by piece. We replaced the rearview mirror with an autonomous watchdog that never sleeps. We gave it a brain that does not hallucinate. We gave it eyes that see the physical world. We secured it inside an Azure vault that your data never leaves. And we did it at a cost that a CFO will actually approve. This is not a future roadmap. This is not a research paper. This is a working prototype, built right now by one architect who believed that enterprise intelligence deserved better than a Monday morning spreadsheet. But here is what I want you to sit with as this video ends. If autonomous AI agents are now the finance auditor, continuously scanning every margin in your organization, if they are the logistics specialist, hunting down freight anomalies without a single SQL query from a human, if they are the visual watchdog, reading your loading dock in real time, then what is your role? Your role is not gone. It is elevated. Tomorrow's most valuable professionals will not be the ones who know how to find data. They will be the ones who know how to direct, evaluate, and trust a team of autonomous AI agents. They will read the memo the AI generated and make the call the AI cannot. The nuanced, human, strategic call that no model will ever fully replace. The question is not whether this technology is coming. It is already here. The question, for every business leader, every data engineer, every architect watching this, is simply this. Are you ready to be an AI manager? Because ready or not, the autonomous engine is running. Thank you for watching this deep dive. If this sparked something, a question, a challenge, I want to build this for my organization, reach out directly. The architect who designed this solution and built this entire presentation is available for live demos, architecture walkthroughs, and enterprise consultations. Drop your query to solutionarchitect1975@gmail.com. Whether you are a C-suite leader evaluating this for your business or a technical architect who wants to go deep on the code, every message gets a personal response. Keep questioning the tools you use. Keep exploring what AI can do when it is built with intention.
The autonomous engine is running. Thanks for watching.